Hello, 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 and welcome to Bub's World. This is your host, Bub. Today we're doing a big vinyl haul. This thing, it's huge. It's huge. It's the biggest vinyl haul I've ever done. I got so many vinyl records that don't even fit. Look at them. They're huge. All right, so there we go. Let's see who we got in the wings here. I know Las Cruces was here earlier, so we thank you. When the video starts up, it kind of loses all the early comments and it starts off fresh. So I know you're here before, but welcome again. And oh, well, JPL Flash has graced us with his presence. I got to tell you, I was going to fuss about you leaving a comment on one of Russ, Super Russ 9000's horrific video of the day dribbles. And then you haven't left a comment on one of my videos in like 2 years. I'm like, where is this guy? My best mate, James. Anyway, good to have you, brother. Las Cruces is here. Hey, welcome. JPL Flash still here. Yes, a vinyl record haul. It's going to be a big one, buddy. All right, good to have you all. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Hello Host Bub. All right, so sorry I'm a few minutes late. You guys must be on different time zones. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're not listening. We don't want to hear it. All right, here we go. The stack is so big and I can't work the mic. And oh my gosh, I'm going to need an assistant to somebody come grab my mic. That hardly ever works. All right. First off, we're just going to rapid fire through some of these. I'll have comments on some and we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. We'll see how it goes. All right. So first off, we have Meatloaf with Bat Out of Hell right here. Look at that. Epic Records, Legacy, Cleveland, all this good stuff. Let's see. This is a classic album. If you like operatic rock, it has the red and black vinyl on there. I want to say, man, I'm struggling. It's been so long since I bought this, but I want to say it was a Target exclusive. So Target exclusive. I burn up Target on their exclusives. Walmart has exclusive colored vinyls as well, but I happen to like the Target colored vinyls better most of the time. Not that they sound better, but they just look better. We'll check out the jacket here. Just some lyrics on both sides, so kind of generic stuff there. But Bat Out of Hell, classic album if you like the opera rock scene. If you're a fan of like some of Queen's more operatic stuff or Rush, give Meatloaf a listen. And if you like 2 out of 3 songs on the album, that ain't bad. All right. So first album I ever listened to was Bat Out of Hell. Oh my gosh. Now, were they playing this in the delivery room? Because that would have been terribly appropriate. There we go. Hey, Varangian Vigilantes here. Ass swell. Now, I know he's not here in the chat just yet, but I know that a big supporter of the channel and a watcher of some of the videos I put up here is Sly. That would be Ranger Sly. And I'm thankful that he watches the videos. If you're catching on the replay, buddy, this one's for you. I know you're a big fan of Christmas. So look, Buzz would buy every Jungle Girl cover for love. Oh, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. All right, so let's see. We got Elf here, the soundtrack from the music from the motion picture, and this has what they labeled as Norwal Blue vinyl on this one, which is just solid, kind of a royal blue. Absolutely great album, fantastic. The first one has a lot more pop Christmas songs, and the second one does as well, but it's a little bit more of the score of the movie is in there too. So great stuff. Harry Zlatos is here. He likes the vinyl as well. You guys know on Bub's World we do a lot of vinyl, so great stuff. This has got that classic duet with Zoe Deschanel. So, and she has a sister. She is a Deschanel sister, and I think if they ever give birth to triplets, they'll be Deschanel number 5. So there we go. All right, next we got Rex Harrison, Julie Andrews, and My Fair Lady. I picked this up for $3 at a thrift shop. Check that out. Isn't that amazing? Rex Harrison, Julie Andrews, My Fair Lady, a classic. And look at that. Isn't that just, stunning black vinyl. And the great thing about these older kind of soundtrack albums to the musicals is they're perfect. Like, I've never seen one that was damaged. Bondage cover. I've never seen one that was damaged. They're almost always perfect condition because they don't get played that often. So great stuff. I've listened to it. I've listened to every album that I'm showing you, at least once before presenting them to you. So I have a fresh idea of what to say about them. And I got to tell you, this one is just absolutely beautiful. Go do yourself a favor. If you've never seen this movie, watch it. It's a little dated, but it still holds up. The songs especially still hold up, and it's quite funny. So watch this. My Fair Lady, a great soundtrack album. Holy schmoly, we're here for some amazing albums here. You guys are in for a real treat. Here is My Bear Lady. Used to be a nightclub. I'm sure it did. Check this out. We've got the Rolling Stones with Sticky Fingers. This is the reissue. You guys already know, or you may have forgotten by now, but I have the original issue with the zipper and the opening thing. So I have an original pressing, but it was badly warped and just plays like crap. So I went ahead and got the reissue. This was technically a Christmas present. So who knows what I spent? Or what was spent for me. This is just, as most of these classic album reissues are, just on straight black vinyl, but they do have something of the original label. So very cool. And it comes with this here. That's a track list. And then there's your nice photo insert. So very cool. Now you guys know that I tried. This is my favorite Stones album, period. Hands down. I love a lot of the Stones albums and even the greatest hits and stuff like that. But this is the best Stones album. There's not a bad song on here, although I can say that about a few other albums as well. But this is the best album. It's got all my favorite songs are on here, and I have more favorites than would fit on one album, but every one of these classifies as one of my favorite Stones songs, and that's hard to say for all the albums. So best Stones album, the zipper down, your favorite album. Yep. Now I have, absolutely. I have the original one, and it opens up and everything and all that good stuff. But to get this reissue, and it sounds amazing. It's very well redone. With the editing and everything. So, all right. Next, we just picked this one up at the flea market. They have the big Kentucky flea market every so often, and they take over like a big giant building. And like I said, awesome. Let's do some scratching. No, I'm not ready for that. So here we go. We got Steve Miller Band with Fly Like an Eagle, an awesome album. I've had the greatest hits before. I actually bought the greatest hits album, and it turned out to be like a bad pressing, and it was a well-known thing. I didn't do my research before I bought it, but it turns out a lot of them were messed up, and mine was one of them. So I sent that back. And then in the meantime, I was like, you know what? There's only like 3 really good Steve Miller Band albums. I've seen him twice in concert. So I was like, you know what? Let me just pick up those albums. So I picked up the first one, which is Book of Dreams, on my list of what I like the best. And then secondly was this one, Fly Like an Eagle. And then third, I'd like to pick up the Joker. I don't have that one yet. And then if I see another one of theirs in the dollar bins or something, I might snag that. But here we go. Fly Like an Eagle. There's the back. Standard black vinyl. And no interior art to speak of. just a plain old, regular old insert. And I'll show you what I do with those in a minute. Oh boy. This one, I was surprised at how willing I was to spend the money on it because it's modern and it's a brand new album. And I didn't know that I was going to spend this much for it. But I had reserved that, first of all, they had 3 different versions. Walmart had a version. There was a standard black version. And Walmart had like a gray, clearish gray, like transparent gray vinyl. And then Target had a transparent red with gold sparkle vinyl, and it was too beautiful. I couldn't pass it up. So we have the weekend highlights. So this is the double LP best of the weekend. And boy, is it just fantastic. Every song on here is great. We're big fans of the weekend at my house, not just the singer, but also the days of the week. See if I can get this up close enough so you can see that sparkle. Look at that sparkle. Oh, it's a ting of booty. It's an absolute ting of booty. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? I'm loving that. And of course, there's two of them in there. And here's the other one. See? Right there. So there you go. The weekend. And I don't always go through, gotta love that sparkle. I don't always go through all the track lists, but for some of the modern ones, I'll say this one has Blinding Lights, In Your Eyes, Can't Feel My Face, I Feel It Coming, Starboy, Call Out My Name. I like that one. But Love Me Harder, Wicked Games, Acquainted, The Morning After, or The Morning, and then After Hours. One of the ones that I really wanted on this album, because there was no, I don't think it's on any of his other albums, is Earned It. And the reason that I wanted that one on this, one of the main reasons why I bought this is to get that one song, because I think it was 50 Shades of Grey, the movie, had it on their soundtrack. And I almost bought that soundtrack a couple of times just to get the song. And I was like, I'll wait, because the weekend will come out with the greatest hits and they'll have to put it on there. And sure enough, they did. So main reason I bought this album was for that one song, but I loved all the songs on it. And a lot of them I already knew. So double, that was like $60 for that thing, man. Can you believe that? $60 for a modern album? I don't know why I paid it. Oh yeah, I remember. I got a Target gift card for Christmas, and that helped pay for half of it. I was like, yes. All right, now I'd pay 30 for it. I didn't want to pay 60, but I would pay 30. So that's how it happens. And Walmart had their gray one. It was like 55, so only $5 less. And then the standard version of it was like 45. So really I paid only $15 more for all the color, and I'm happy with that. All right, here's a classic. Billy Joel, Piano Man. And the standard black, of course, this is an original pressing. So standard black vinyl there. Check that out. And of course, it's Billy Joel. It's Piano Man. You guys knew I had to have this in my collection. Found it for only, actually, I think I paid $10 for this. But happy to do so. The only thing I'm upset about is that, look at this. Some soundtrack releases are criminally overpriced, especially in horror. Yes, that is true. Anytime any of the horror stuff, and also the video game and those aren't technically reissues, but the video game albums that they put out now for the video game soundtracks, those are they're low print runs, generally low pressing runs, and they're ridiculously expensive. I mean, if you're a fan of that video game and you got to have it, they're going to make you pay for it. So it's like buying the game all over again. Well, here you go. Billy Joel, JPL says he loves it. The only thing I'm mad about this album was that the dealer, I got this at the Kentucky Flea Market as well, and the dealer had two copies of it, and I checked both the outer jacket and the disc condition, but I either didn't notice or they weren't there. But this one didn't have the correct inner sleeve. It just had a generic inner sleeve. And the other one, I don't know. I don't remember. So when I opened this one up and I got it home, I realized it was missing the inner sleeve. That upsets me. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, we lost fantasy football. So that upsets me only because I feel like the other one probably had it and this one didn't. And I know that all the Billy Joel albums came with good inner sleeves with artwork, and then also usually had all the lyrics, which is funny because for a long time, Billy Joel albums, you couldn't get the lyrics online. Him and his legal team or whatever had clamped down early on in streaming services and things, and you couldn't even queue up the lyrics to a Billy Joel song. Like if you were listening to YouTube Music or Google Play or whatever they had at the time, if you clicked on lyrics, it would say they've been blocked by the artist. So, there's that. So, all right. So it's a shame I didn't get the inner sleeve on that. I'll be on the hunt for a dollar bin copy where it's just, a cracked up record, but the rest of it's in good shape. Speaking of Billy Joel, We got Billy Joel, the Nylon Curtain. If you're in for the darker stuff, you'll like Billy Joel's turn at pissing off people in Pennsylvania. Say that 5 times fast, or 10 times. Be pentatonic of pissing off people in Pennsylvania. There you go. With his Allentown song. But there you go. Loving that. Great album. And I've made some serious upgrades to my setup, which I'll be filming soon. I'm going to do a vinyl setup video where I show off each of the items that I have that I've created or used to create my vinyl listening experience. And the point is that it has very good separation in the left and right speakers. And when the helicopters come in, during a couple of these songs, you got a helicopter. So, and when you hear that in the background, it goes between the speakers. It's like they're all flying in around you. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, mate, we're going to cue that up. I haven't filmed it yet, but for Christmas, my wife bought me a tripod with a moving like camera arm. So I'm going to use it to film it, and maybe even get her to help me. Although if she helps me, nobody will have a head when she films it. So you won't have to see my face because she'll probably cut my head right off in filming, because that's just how she takes pictures. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Next up, we got Elton John and Caribou. I think that's Caribou. Yep, Caribou. One of my favorite albums when I was younger. Absolutely loved it. Calls me a try. Congratulations, Varangian Vigilante. I appreciate that. All right. So there you go. Gotta love that Caribou. And since, Elton John puts out about an album a week during this time period, so I'll go ahead and tell you some of the highlights of this one. You got, here's the back. Check that out. And it says The Bitch Is Back is one of them. And You're So Static is another one of my favorites on here. And I've seen The Saucers as a favorite of mine, and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. So it's got some great albums on here. Great songs on here. I hope you guys enjoy that. So, all right, next up, we got some more Stones for you. The Rolling Stones, Black and Blue, with the complete vanity of the pointless gatefold, because there's only actually one disc in here. Shame on them. But you get the full experience there. There you go. How do I look? Do I look like Mick? There you go. All right. So Rolling Stones, Black and Blue. I don't know. Every time I hear a Stones album, because it's been so long since I heard these put together, and I know people love streaming music and streaming services, and hey, I listen to them too, but the quality on these is less compressed. I can hear the difference. And also, you forget how much work goes into the composition of an album to make it flow a certain way and to bring you through the songs. The way that they're arranged makes a big difference. And then to get a feel for the overall album. And then just to come across an album that has so many good songs on it, that's not like a greatest hits, but songs that you didn't remember, or like some of these songs on here I hadn't heard in a long time since I heard the album last, probably, because they just don't pop up in the randomized Rolling Stones playlist. But they're fantastic songs. I'll yak off a few of them real quick. Hot Stuff, Hand of Fate, Cheerio Baby, Memory Motel is a great song. You never hear that in the radio. Then you got Melody's another one, and Fool to Cry is another one that's absolutely fantastic. I had forgot that one was on this album, actually. So can't beat analog music. Well, I tell you, I heard you were something of a tripod, so it'd probably take you 6 weeks to beat it all off perfectly. Exactly. My album summed up well there. Sometimes deep cuts, other songs not hits. That's right. Can be better. And there's a certain level of anticipation that gets built when you're listening to an entire album that you don't get otherwise, because it's so because when you're doing greatest hits, or if you're listening to your own playlist, you know exactly what's coming up next and it's no big deal. But sometimes you're forced to listen to a song that's just okay in order to get to a song that you absolutely love. And the whole time you're like, oh, I can't wait for that good song to come. I know it's coming next. And then boom, it comes and you're in heaven. So good stuff. Electric Light Orchestra. You guys know I'm a huge fan of ELO. I've almost got every album now. I'm trying hard. And then when it comes down to it, I'll get that White Whale, which costs like $600, and you can only buy it from Russian scalpers. But we're still on the hunt. Here is Secret Messages by ELO. Just Take Me On and On side one is one of my favorite songs of theirs of all times. And Rock and Roll is King is also another great one on here. So check that out. Secret Messages. We're not going to get any strikes for showing this beauty on camera because it's a work of art. Them they're classique. So, and of course, standard black vinyl with the pretty classic ELO label. Check that out. So here goes JPL to rub it in. Best live gig I've ever seen. I believe it. Mine is the Stones. And the Stones come from your backyard. Have you seen the Stones? Put it in the comments below. All right. This next one. Oh boy. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you already know that I'm loving on this album and I play it constantly, nonstop. Pick it up, flip it, play it again. It's a double LP sets. I can't help myself. Tron Legacy. Disney's Tron Legacy. Here's the back. And it's 4 discs. And it's just Daft Punk kicking ass the whole way through. It's so good. It is absolutely so good. So they've done a couple of commemorative editions of this over the years. And there you go. They've done some commemorative editions over the years, but I'm very, very pleased to have gotten this one because this one has not the biggest track list of all the editions, but the second biggest, which I'll take that. And it also had 2 vinyls and they're different colors, which you usually don't get that. That's usually reserved, but check that out. You've got clear, if you will, or ice, and then you got blue for the other disc, and they sound amazing, which is great because you got to be careful sometimes with colored vinyl. Now, everybody knows if you're in vinyl and you're into vinyl, everybody knows that picture discs have lower quality. They just do. It's just the way that they're manufactured. There's no debate about that. There's a loud hiss and hum that comes from them. There's nothing you can do. But what a lot of people don't talk about, or people will say, oh, and colored vinyl is no good either. Well, vinyl is vinyl. It's not like they take the vinyl and colorize it. They just use a different color vinyl, but in some cases they don't actually, or I guess it's vinyl, but they make it a very like hard, crisp, almost like a hard plastic, and not the same kind of pliable, like they're almost brittle, like a Coke bottle. But this is not that. This is the proper type of vinyl that you can do colorized. Now this one is closer to it, but it's still not there. They held back. It's not perfectly clear, but sometimes you get a vinyl that's absolutely crystal clear. And when you drop the needle on it, it sounds like someone is scratching along a piece of plastic. It's like, and it's just a high pitched kind of scratch because that vinyl material isn't soft enough. It's like so harsh. It has a very harsh sound. So some colored vinyl actually is not that great. I have a couple of examples of that. I'm able to listen through it, but it does lower the experience just a little bit from being a nice, real clean, full hi-fi sound. So that, be aware of that. But this didn't have that problem, and I was afraid that it would because of that clear blue one. The white one, definitely no problem, but the clear blue, you can tell that could have been a problem. In this case, it wasn't. So very thankful for that. Yeah, I bought a few Disney picture discs that just no good to play. Man, they're really fun to look at, and they're fun to play. I like playing them, but they don't sound, it sounds better to stream the music for sure than to listen to that. I still do it though. I got a couple of albums, but pretty much going forward, if I have the option of not buying the picture disc, I probably will abstain from that. Hey, Christina Payne, how are you doing? Good friend of the channel. Check this out. Billy Joel Turnstile, some more Billy Joel love. Hope you guys like that. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Summer Highland Falls. All you want to do is dance. But the biggest one on here, New York State of Mind. Gotta love that. Check that out. Now, you guys, some of you from New York may know, but turnstiles are a thing. This is what they looked like in the subway way back in the day. I remember hopping these when I was a kid. just put a hand on each one of these and then leap your legs right over. No muss and no fuss. I was faster than all the donut eating cops in New York City, every last one of them, till I turned about 18. And I started slowing down too, and I paid my fare like everybody else. There you go. Billy Joel Turnstiles. Very, very happy to have that. And as I recall, I didn't pay too much for it. Ooh, here's a nice one. Eagles Greatest Hits, number 2. I think this is 2. Or it might be number 1. I don't know. Is it volume 1 or 2? Eagles Greatest Hits. Oh, they give it by years from 1971 to 1975. So there you go. And this has got, this is a new release, I think, because you can tell it's got that 180 gram vinyl. You can see just how thick, man. Look at how thick that is. I tell you what, you take this thickness and match it with a tripod, that guy's barely getting out of bed in the morning. Needs a freaking crane. Look at that. All right, we got Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, and Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and Best of My Love. So great stuff on this Eagles album. Greatest hits 71 to 75. Gets a big thumbs up. And that's a reissue. You can tell the vinyl's just so heavy. You can tell that it's a repressing. But I love 180 gram vinyl. It's just when you drop it on the platter, just thunk, it just drops on there like a freaking lead weight. And when you play it, it seems so solid, never warped. They're never warped. They're always just perfect. Nice slab of music. Love it. Oh boy, ELO another time with another pure vanity, absolute pure vanity gatefold. Look at this. My goodness. Pure vanity here. No reason for that. But there you go. ELO Discovery. This one has Sound of Love and Confusion, Need Her Love, Diary of Horace Wimp, Last Train to London, and Don't Bring Me Down probably got the most radio play out of this one. You should do karaoke with us. I didn't know you guys had karaoke. Christina, hit me up with a link sometime. I used to do karaoke. I used to judge karaoke contests. So, you know, it is what it is. So in person, live, of course. I never tried to do it through a computer, but there you go. So I hope you guys like this. Great, great album. And one of the best things about, and most people didn't realize that was a gatefold probably, but most of them are. One of the things that like drew me to this album, other than it was one of my favorites as a kid, was that my wife had this album when she was younger, so she remembers it very well. And she, every time I get an ELO album, she would like, "Is it the one I have?" No, it's not. Oh, okay. But she still likes the others, but this was the one she was real happy for me to get. Yes, love Discovery, great album, absolutely. Me and some friends had a stack of 45s, playing them in their driveway one summer when I was a boy. Warped a ton of them. I bet you did. As I was reading it, I was thinking, that's a terrible idea. All right. Well, hopefully they weren't anything worth a crap ton of money. And if not, you can always display them as art and fond memories to boot. All right. CP, sounds good. And Perry's Comics is here as well. Welcome, Perry. Glad to have you. You have a few albums as well. We should talk sometime. I love it. Criminal Record. Who's got a criminal record? Oh, me? Hopping Turnstiles? I don't know. We don't know who we're talking about here. Las Cruces might be a little, he probably paused the video and he's maybe 5 minutes behind. He'll catch up. All right. I told you also that I don't mind getting greatest hits albums, but I also like to get the original pressings. The reason I don't mind greatest hits, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to get a compilation. Well, one of the reasons I like compilations is because these days, when you get to do all the mixing and shuffling through streaming music, it's harder to do that. You know, I guess if you had a crap ton of 45s that weren't warped, you could, you know, swap them out, but there's no time to dance and party. You got to stand right at the freaking thing and flip them all. So greatest hits albums are high on my list. I like them because it's less work, right? So here we are with Rolling Stones Hot Rock 64 to 71. There's that there. And this has a necessary gatefold because it does include the original little artwork inside. Isn't that nice? And it also came on limited edition piss-colored vinyl. I don't know what else to call that. What do you call that color? I call it piss. It looks like piss, but it sounds great. This was the 2021 Record Store Day exclusive. Hey, what's going on, Bill? Good to have you. Welcome to the club. And a double LP set. It's got tons of great songs on it, and it did come with some fun kind of interior type stuff, some information. If you just have to read and learn more about the Stones, you have your option to do so. So there you go. Great songs on here. I don't have to go through them. Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, Gimme Shelter, Honky Tonk Woman, Satisfaction, Paint It Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, and the list goes on and on. Basically everything you can think of that they did from 64 to 71. Yep. That got heavy airplay is on here. So great stuff. All right, let's see who we got next. This is a replacement. It took, I don't know, 7 months to get this back. It felt like going to buy some Blind Guardian albums on vinyl soon. Good luck with that. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Here is Now That's What I Call Vintage from Postmodern Jukebox. Put this out, and you can only get them from their store. And the original one I had was so warped that I put it on the table, and it was warped in it was almost 4-corner warped. Like each corner of the thing, it was horrifically packaged and nailed, and it was warped. It was a thin, cheap, like it looked like if I told people, hey, I'm going to start making records, like that's what it looked like. I was very, very disappointed because I was so excited to get the album. Super disappointed in it. Had to send them pictures. It took forever. Then they didn't find my stuff. I said, look, it got to you a week ago. Anyway, they finally got it all set up and shipped it to me. Well, I appreciated that. And they shipped me the replacement. I said, do you want your money back? But I bought it on sale. So if I got my money back, I wouldn't even have enough to buy it again. So, but when they shipped the new one, it came on I think it's 150 gram vinyl. It doesn't feel like 180. I think it's 150. So glad to have got it. Hey, I've tried that. And I have successfully flattened an album, but you couldn't listen to it anymore. And I've unsuccessfully worked on other albums. So there you go. Paint It Black. That song is in Guitar Hero. Yes. And it's fantastic, isn't it? Let's see. Are you going to be selling vinyl at BUB'S Con? I am. My wife told me, hey, because I've got a few doubles now, ones that I've upgraded. She was like, you should have at least a little crate with some vinyl records at BUB'S Con. I said, you know what? You're right. I will do that. But I'm not going to actively buy a bunch of records just so I can have something to sell. But if I have extras, I'll sell them on the cheap, just to get the conversation moving. So there you go. All right. Another one for Ranger Sly. I hope he's watching on the replay. And for anyone who grew up in my time, this was a fixture of Christmas. Look at that. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas, she says, with the limited edition. I think this was Target. I think this was Target's color vinyl. Check that out. This is like a green, and it says green and red splatter, but it looks more like green, red, and white. It looks more like pink, but there you go. Mariah Carey doing her best impression of a Mariah Carey. And here you have some liner notes and some vanity shots of her. All good stuff. Now, you guys help me out because I remembered this coming with a poster when I was a kid. I had it on CD, and I really believe it came with a poster. Let me rephrase that. I know for a fact that I had a Mariah Carey poster once, and I want to know where it came from. And it was a similar post to this, but it was a little bit different, and I absolutely loved it. And I'd love to find it. Not my original copy. Who knows what I did? I mean, who knows what happened to it? But I would love to find another reprint of that poster. I have no idea where it is. I can't find it. I recently bought a copy of the CD thinking it would be in there. It was not in there. So now I'm thinking, where the heck did I even get that? Was it a magazine? Was it, where did I find that? So poster of Mariah Carey, vintage 1996-ish is what we're looking for. Good luck if you can find it. And sell it to me. There you go. It's January, Buzz. Mariah Carey's negative zone again until November. I believe it. She's gone back into hibernation. But I bought this is the last month worth of vinyl here. So here we have another little Christmas album. This was old new stock. So this was completely wrapped and sealed. Now, depending on who you ask, some people get excited about that. They're like, ooh, it's wrapped and, it's going to be perfect. But those of you who've been collecting vinyl for a while know that it's not always perfect inside. You can have what looks like a perfect album cover and jacket and everything. But then when you pull it out, it's like got water damage or who knows what's happened to it. It's all warped. So the general rule of thumb is not to buy unopened old stock because you can't inspect the disc and you can't look at it and see if it's clean and see if it's damaged. You're just kind of stuck with it. So, and they're not going to let you open it in the store. So general rule of thumb is it's really cool when you find one, but don't think that it's worth more money than one that was not sealed, because chances are there could be something wrong with it. I mean, these things are 30, 40, 50-year-old vinyls and more. So when that happens, you don't know what you're getting when it's fully wrapped. Thankfully, this turned out to be fine. It's a great little Christmas album. We won't dwell on that anymore until we get to this one. Christmas, all-time great records. This has got White Christmas. It's got a Christmas song, Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, Beach Boys, Ella Fitzgerald, Dean Martin, Merle Haggard even makes an appearance here. The Andrews Sisters, nothing but good stuff on this one. So fantastic little album. And it came on red vinyl, which I don't know what you'd call this. I call this like lipstick red. I would call that lipstick red vinyl, but very cool. Loving it. And it sounded fantastic. I mean, another nice heavyweight vinyl. I love the 180 gram vinyls. This one was exciting. This is another modern artist, but we're going to see her in concert in 2 weeks. So here is Elle King with Love Stuff. And this album freaking rocks. If you like whiskey blues, if you like sassy fat chicks on the microphone, this is for you. I'm telling you that it's everything you would want it to be and more. Side one, Where the Devil Don't Go, is awesome. Her most radio played song, probably X's and O's. That one is also awesome. Just so good. It's such a good album. I'm going to listen to this again tonight. So far, all the albums I've gone through, I love, but this one I'm going to play again because we got to get these songs memorized so we know how they sound compared in person. So Andrews Sisters has some great songs with Bing Crosby. Absolutely. Yep, that's on there. Andrews Sisters and Bing Crosby together again. So there you go. Elle King killing it with this album. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if she put anything on the inner sleeve. There you go. There's a little something. There you go. You're welcome. If you like it, it's there for you. There you go. Elle King with a little bit of airbrushed abs or something. I don't know what they did there. It didn't work, but oh yeah, good stuff. Didn't know Elle King don't know Elle King. It's actually Rob Schneider's daughter. So if you know Rob Schneider from like the Adam Sandler movies and SNL and stuff like that, then this is actually his daughter. And she is freaking awesome. I'm telling you, JPL, give this a listen. You're going to love it. And I know you're from Britain, so you like all those sassy whiskey singing blues chicks. This one, don't judge me by the outer jacket. Clearly, this thing was stuck to a couple of other albums, but it survived. The disc looked good. And here's ELO On the Third Day. So this was an album I had actually never heard before. And I thought I had heard all their albums. Never heard this one. The jacket is super rough. Look at it. That's super rough, not super Russ. He's already made an appearance on this channel. And look at this. Now, you know you're good when I already know that is stuck. That is another album cover stuck, and I can recognize it. That's Xanadu by ELO. The Xanadu soundtrack, I recognize that from there, but it's stuck. So maybe if I ever find the actual Xanadu album that was pressed to this, I'll be able to make those up and get a married cover. So look at that. Electric Light Orchestra On the Third Day. Never knew this album existed, but Showdown is on it. It's going to be and Mama Mabel is here as well. So two of the radio played songs on this album. Pretty good album. I'm not going to say it's their best work, but it ain't bad. All right. Let's see. Could be Rob Schneider in costume. We will never know. I tell you, it ain't. And she may not be that much of a looker, but it's not even, She has an attitude. Like I could see it. I could see it. I think I would need some of the whiskey to help, but I can see it. I can see where somebody would like, oh wow, need that. Well done on unrecognized. I'm telling you, that's it. I can tell you that's it. Oh well. Saturday Night Fever. There you go. Staying Alive. How deep is your love? And if I can't have you, and a fifth of Beethoven, which is just fantastic, which actually isn't done by the Bee Gees, but Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. So it's got a lot on there. They just feature the Bee Gees heavily. Check that out. Looking good. Gatefold, and you need it because it's double disc. Look at that. Woo! It's a party. Absolutely. We're getting it. Oh, yeah. Saturday Night Fever goodness. And I got to tell you, and you guys may not know this, when I play disco music, my wife has to dance. There's something in her DNA. There's something that happens when the disco goes on. My wife turns on full. She's dancing. She's climbing up the walls, hanging from the chandeliers. This woman can't stand it. She has to be part of the party. So I've re-engineered the room and made it a dance space with a floating shelf behind me. We'll talk about that in my next video on my vinyl setup. But the point is, this room is danceable now, and it didn't used to be. So to commemorate the fact that this room can now be danced in, I bought Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, and boy, did she dance her little hiney off. So great stuff. Always worth it. You got to set them up sometimes, fellas. Set them up to win. All right, next we got Steve Winwood with Roll With It. This was actually sealed. This was another one I bought fully sealed, and turned out it was okay. But as I was saying before, it was fully sealed, but at this bottom corner, you can see, and you comic folk will recognize a little bit of water damage. You see that brown kind of. So this had water damage, and I knew it, but it was sealed, and I gave it a shot because it was only like $3. I was like, you're kidding me. A brand new record for $3. I got to try it. And I did. So standard black vinyl, Roll With It, baby. Steve Winwood doing his best impression of the Fonz right there, which is pretty much the only impression he ever did. It's got Roll With It. Let's see. And that's it. That's like the only song I recognize, but I've listened to it and it's a great album. And my memories for Steve Winwood, speaking of which, here's Back in the High Life again. With Steve Winwood, this one's got more Higher Love, Back in the High Life again, and My Love's Leaving. So this one's got more recognizable songs, a lot of airplay, but great album. Both are great albums. And I just remember as a kid that Steve Winwood did like an HBO special, and he did a concert at HBO, and it's the first time I ever saw like a concert on TV. And I couldn't believe it. Oh, it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life, was this concert. I'd never even been to a concert. I was too young, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. I either want to be doing that on stage, or I want to be right up to the stage, listening to this music. This is amazing. It was the greatest show I'd ever seen. Steve Winwood, HBO special. I bet if I watched it back now, I probably wouldn't be as enamored with it as I was then. But, with age and experience comes a little bit higher expectations, but it was fantastic then. Oh boy, one of my favorite albums that I've picked up in the last month. And I know you're saying, Bub, you picked up a lot of albums. I did. This might be maybe a month and a half, if that makes you feel better. George Michael, Faith. And this album is tough to get in any condition reasonably. People just want crazy money for this album. And the reason is because it's a crazy good album. My gosh. Faith, Father Figure, I Want Your Sex, Hard Day, Monkey, Kissing a Fool. It's just such a solid album. George Michael, one of the best voices of our generation. Absolutely phenomenal voice. Great singer. A good writer too. So just this album just gives me all the feels. It's super perfect. I remembered it when I was young. And just a great album. I've never forgotten about this album. I've had cassettes of this, tape, CDs. I've burned it. It was one of the first things I ever burned myself and moved around. It had multiple copies. Fantastic album here. Faith by George Michael. So pleased to have this in the collection. This and Elle King are going on the side because they're both going to get listened to tonight. Maybe I just want to hear people in leather jackets. What do you think? You think that's going on? Could be. Uh-oh. Here's the Doors. There you go. Now, this is the Doors' greatest hits, and I'm going to put a quotes on there because they're not all here. But look at that. In snow white vinyl. Oh, wow. Hey, look at this. I assume you're talking about George Michael. So very, very cool. I would love to do that. That'd be awesome. It's the same UK and Europe. Finding an original press of Faith that's decent can cost a bit. Everyone wants a copy of it. Yep, that's true. So good. That's good to know. It's not just us having that problem, but I found a copy and I bought it and I was very happy. Check this out. The Doors all Snow White album. It's got Hello, I Love You. Won't you tell me your name? It's got Light My Fire. People Are Strange. Wow, I can't. I got to do that justice. Hold on. There you go. That's good stuff. People are strange when you're a stranger. And you know the rest. Let's see. Love Me Two Times. Another great song. Riders on the Storm, of course. Break On Through, Roadhouse Blues, and then Not to Touch the Earth. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to listen to. Oh, man. 50th anniversary today of the Doors' first album. Woohoo! There you go. How timely is this? We're all over it. Let's see. Show me the way to the next. Show me the way to the next comic shop. There you go. Good stuff. And of course, it's got LA Woman. Great stuff. Great album. One stinker in the bunch isn't bad, but it reminds me that there's not enough room on one disc for all the great Doors music. You really need the double LP set. So if you ever get a chance to get the double LP of the old version of the greatest hits, I'd recommend that over this, and I'll be on the lookout for that as well. Because there's at least 3 songs on there that's missing on here that I really miss. So this is another classic album. Look at this. The Dire Straits with Brothers in Arms. So Far Away From Me. Look at that. And Money for Nothing. Walk of Life. It's just so good. This is a great album. I highly recommend it. You guys need this album in your collection. Jim Morrison's grave, at his grave in Paris. Okay. Surely a shrine. So many people were there. Yeah. I've seen a couple of in Arlington National Cemetery. That's our national cemetery here. There's a lot of celebrities and musicians and stuff. It's amazing how many people are. It's always somebody there. Always somebody there. You look over, you see like through the hills, and you'll see like a mausoleum or something, or a gravesite with a flame. There's always something, some gimmick that they have. And you look over, and there'll always be like 10, 15 people there. You're like, what are they doing? You don't even need a map to the stars. You just walk up and you see every time there's 15 people at one grave talking and taking pictures, it's some kind of celebrity. So there you go. Brothers in Arms. Absolutely fantastic album. Highly recommend it. Dire Straits. Great stuff. And that album rocks, man. It sounds really good. It's a good pressing. All right. Another good pressing I was very pleased with is Pink Floyd, The Wall. This was 180 grams as well. Double LP set. Check that out. Now, my Pink Floyd collection is not complete, and I do not have Dark Side of the Moon yet. I just don't have it. I'm kind of hoping that I'll find some commemorative edition that has some sort of like graphics to it or something, but hasn't worked out yet. But happy to have this one. And I bought this one. It was on the cheap comparatively. I couldn't believe it. It was new, but used. So sometimes you come across these brand new vinyls, but it was in the used record bin because it had already been opened. So this thing can't be very old at all. And the discs were absolutely perfect, and you're able to check them. So good stuff. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Hey, LG the Geek is here. We were just talking about you getting to go see George Michael's grave. So there you go. We appreciate that. Or George Michael's house. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, Lost Cruises. Pink Floyd. So good. So good. Everybody sub everybody and all that good stuff. Here we go. Here's another ELO. The very best of ELO. Electric Light Orchestra. And this one is called All Over the World, which, of course, is a line from 2 of their songs. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Got their classic spaceship. And then on the interior as well. Look at that. JPL, let me know if you have this one. I think there's still a few available. I might could get it sent to you. And it's got a red vinyl. And then they went ahead and did us a treat with 2 multicolors. It's got a white vinyl. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Loving that. Yeah. ELO, winning all day. And this has got some great songs on it. So we got Mr. Blue Sky, Evil Woman, Don't Bring Me Down, Sweet Talking Woman, Shine a Little Love, Turn to Stone, The Diary of Horace Wimp, Confusion, Hold On Tight, Living Thing. And this had like a theme. So they tried to pick, I think, at least one song from every album that they did. So that was cool. Telephone Line, All Over the World, Wild West Heroes, Showdown, Mama Ma Bell. So that made an appearance twice already. Xanadu, Rockaria, Strange Magic, All Right, and Rock and Roll is King. So great stuff here. Have to look and let you know. Yeah, if you don't have this one, this is a greatest hits album, so you may not have it. If you don't have this one, let me know. I think I can still get this commemorative edition with the white and red vinyl. So let me know. Oh, awesome, Chad. I didn't know you were a fan. I'm a huge fan of ELO. I've got almost all their albums. I'm working towards finishing up that run. So let's see. This one is a new album. However, I have shown off quite a few original pressings as well. But this one here is a brand new compilation. It just came out like a year or so ago. And they put out the commemorative edition just a few months ago. And that's when I picked this up, meaning the special red and white. But most of the albums I've shown off are actually not new. They're original pressings. But if you can get a new one for the same price as an original pressing, I know some people would say, hey, for the collectability, they want the original pressing. But I have to say, sonically, the new vinyls, most of them sound better. I haven't come across a new vinyl that didn't sound as good as the old one. That didn't sound better than the old vinyl. The technology is a little bit better now. The vinyl is newer, so it sounds a little fresher, and you just get a lot of good stuff. So, okay. New pressings. I only collect the old pressings. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see. Nice. I have to hear that. That's a great song. I'd love to hear it. All right. I have to see if I can get you some UK original pressings of ELO. That would be awesome. I got to tell you, one that I'm after, my white whale is Zoom. If you ever see the Zoom album for sale, I'm talking to you, JPO Flash, for under $400 US, you are authorized to purchase it. Authorized, and I will send you the cash. You send me the LP. Actually, you send me the LP, then I'll send you the cash. No, just kidding. But if you come across a Zoom album, which is one of their newer albums, I can't find it anywhere. It's like a freaking ghost. And if I could get that, I could complete my collection. But so far, no luck. No vinyl, just CDs and digital. Still all good, man. Better to binge listen to music than to binge watch Netflix. What's going on? Fish cakes. Hey. All right. Like the original pricing sound a lot like crackling noise in the background. So, as a vinyl enthusiast, right, a lot of times we look to eliminate a lot of those crackling and noises. But what we're looking to get rid of are the excessive ones, the ones that are ingrained into the music. I got no problem with that. And I enjoy the ritual of playing vinyl a lot, taking it out, putting it on the platter, dropping the needle. I enjoy all that a lot. Like this is a mostly manual turntable because it has some automatic properties. I don't use them. I like doing it myself. So, all right, JPO, you've got your mission, brother. You find it. But as all I'm no spring chick myself. I appreciate that. All right, everybody saying hello. Everybody say, hey, everybody. All right, Fish Cat caught up. Boom. We've got, this is a new version of a greatest hits, Hall & Oates, Rock and Soul Part 1. Nice. All right, sounds good. Clean my records before it's played. Yes, and I make my own vinyl cleaning solution. because that costs too much, because I clean them with every play as well. So if you buy that cleaner solution, it's like, I don't know, $25 for like 6 ounces. It's absolutely absurd. When it's a very simple solution, you can make it yourself at home and it performs better. So there you go. So here we have Hall & Oates with a new, this was a Walmart exclusive, and they call it purple, but I want your opinion on this. Is this purple? I don't know. It's like an ugly maroon or something. I just don't think that's purple, but it's a plum. It's a plum or a date is what it looks like to me. But anyway, there we go. Great music on this one. It's got Sarah Smile, She's Gone, Rich Girl, Kisses on My List, You Make My Dreams, Private Eyes, I Can Go For That, Man Eater, One on One, and Wait For Me, a live version of that, which was fine. And then it has 2 new songs recorded in 1983. But they're actually not bad. Say It Isn't So, and Adult Education. And Adult Education is pretty solid. So, appreciate that. Cranberry, yeah. I'll give you Cranberry. It's way more cranberry than purple. The cranberries, not the cranberries in my head. There you go. All right, good stuff. All right. Not to linger. Cranberry. See what I did there? All right. We're going to get to the last album for the Hall, so everyone can just jump out now. I agree. It's Plum. This is a reissue, and it is Journey's Escape with the famous Don't Stop Believing, Who's Crying Now, Keep On Running, Still They Ride, Escape, of course, Dead or Alive, Mother Arms, Open Arms, Lay It Down. This thing is classic and one of my favorite colors of vinyl. And I have 2 of them now with this same color, is this kind of Coke bottle green. Now, it says it's clear. It says that it's a clear vinyl, but under careful inspection, you can see that kind of green tint that it has. It's like if you ever look through a clear old Coke bottle and it has that green glass, that green tint to it from a certain angle, that's what this has. So I hope that's coming through and you can see just how green this clear vinyl is. But it's labeled as clear, but it's even better than that because it's that Coke bottle green, which I absolutely love. And there you go. That's my vinyl haul, all in under an hour. You're welcome, YouTube. So there you go. Hope you guys appreciated that. Be on the lookout for my vinyl haul setup video. That's going to take a little bit of camera work and editing, and we're going to try and get my wife involved. I wish she would be in front of the camera and I could just speak and she'll do the little Vanna White, but she doesn't always want to do that. So I've met Hall in the 90s, but never met Oates. Wow. That's cool. I appreciate that. And they're still touring. They're still performing. They're doing a concert in this area not too long from now. Love Coke Bottle Green color records. We don't get that color here much. Look, JPL, let me tell you something. Right now in my garage, I've got about 15 vinyl mailers. You tell me what you're looking for. I'll do the hunting. I'll buy them for you. I'll ship them to you. You pay the shipping. Oh, you pay for the records too, but we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get it shipped over to you. I'm a big believer. Right now, I've got boxes started for other people. For all my friends overseas, I'm more than happy to help ship you guys stuff because I know how hard it is to find things over there, and I'm here to help. So you just let me know. I think there's songs sometimes. Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Put on disco music. She has no choice. She's going to come home. She's not home right now. She's going to come home. I'm going to have disco music playing and she's going to dance all the way in. She can't help herself. All right, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you all for showing up and being part of this stream. It's always fun to share this vinyl with you guys. Listen to some music. Don't bother with the rest of it. So I say right here, listen to some vinyl and don't apologize for the hiss. Just listen. It sounds better. All right. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.